Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Semoskiy. Our heroes today are going to be the Pugnacious Penguin, playing as the US forces in the yellow. And his opponent in the pink or purple trunks is going to be Torch, playing as the OKW forces in the aforementioned pink. So, this game is still from before the patch, obviously, since it's coming out before the patch, so not really much of a point for me saying it, but there's not a lot to say while the game gets underway. I caught this game live as it was being played and decided to cast it as both players are relatively high on those ranks, and I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and do this one. Hopefully it turns out to be good. So we see Torch moving out his supply half-track, rushing some terrain as he goes, opening up the field a little bit there, and probably just sending it down over here to scout and spot whether something is being capped or such. Again, I mean, not like it costs you anything, so may as well do something if you're not planning on building right away. Center map, Storm Piles are going to be popping into the church, getting some vision range, take some shots at the rifles. Not really, but the rifles shoot back, but they don't do any damage. And then the rifles pop themselves inside the house, where only one of them can shoot because windows are meant for one person. As far as build order goes, we got Pugnacious Penguins going for double rifles and double rear echelon, as the second rear echelon comes after the two rifles. So it's an interesting choice. We'll see what he does with that. I mean, like I've said before, it's interesting when something like that is done in your build order, considering that you don't exactly need rear echelons for much. I mean, unless you're planning on building fighting positions around the map, usually that doesn't happen. You know, combat engineers and Pios, you can understand because they built something, but these guys, not so much. So we'll see exactly what he has in plan. So anyways, we have engagement in the center. Storm Pios engaging against rifles, double rifles, as one squad is popped inside the church. However, we do have a Volksgrenadier squad coming up on the flank of the rifle squad, trying to do as much damage as they can. The rifles shift, managing to put themselves in a better angle. Volksgrenadier squad pushes forward to engage. Rear echelon squad shooting from the rear, and the rifles get right on top of the Volksgren squad and is going to slaughter it, even though it is getting shot at from other things. It has a decent amount of support, especially with the rear echelons from behind, although they decided to move and leave their comrades alone, so the rifles are not looking so great. Still, though, they do win the engagement, and the Volksgrenadiers pushed off. Now, for Torch, we see him going for only two Volks and keeping, of course, his Storm Pio, and then following it up with the Kubelwagen. Kubelwagen pretty strong. Rear echelon squad going to get caught over here on the northern victory point, and could potentially die here if it doesn't retreat, really, because the Kubelwagen is going to get it suppressed here, going to do a lot of damage, and has the potential to gun them down on the retreat, so this is kind of risky here for Pugnacious Penguin. He is looking at losing this squad. Pin down goes in effect. Retreat gets hit. They run straight at the car, losing one of its members. The Kubelwagen not turning itself around. Now it does, although it turns relatively slowly. The rifles are going to push forward, and it looks like the rear echelon squad is barely going to make it out of there. Now we have seen that Pugnacious Penguin has selected his Doctrine, and that is, of course, the Armor Company. And he got himself a Assault Engineers from that. Which, again, is interesting why he went for the second rear echelon instead of those. So, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, Volksgrenadiers, with the support of the Kubelwagen, do win the engagement. They managed to lose a lot of members, down to 2 men themselves. But, well, with the suppression going, it makes it easy to win, right? Rear echelons over here on the right-hand side going to be recovering that island point, as we see the combat engineers. No, not combat. Assault engineers pushing forward, getting in the way of the retreat pad of the Storm Pio. Is going to be trying to cook them alive with that flamethrower. Down to 1 man on the retreat. They do have to run through another rifle squad with 2 members only, so it allows it to potentially get out of there alive. Manages to run the whole way, and it looks like the Storm Pio is going to make it out of there scot-free. Nice grenade going off on top of the Assault Engineers. Assault Engineers getting cooked alive, down to 3 men, forced to retreat. But the Volksgrenadiers get themselves brought down. 1 man almost gets killed off, and they make it out of there as well. So Torch going to be building himself even more Volksgrenadiers, going to be coming up to 4 at a time now. But he did build the Mechanized Regiment headquarters rather early. Nothing out of it just yet, but I suppose it does give an automated repair station for the Kubelwagen. Although if it was really for that, I would assume it would be a little bit further out in the map, but I guess it's fine. I mean, it's always fine to just be able to move back and get things done rather than having to run around and catch the Storm Pios and stop them at what they're doing. Volksgrenadiers over on the left-hand side going to be capturing that victory point on the north. Lieutenant now on the field for Pugnaciouspenguin, going to be pushing them off of that point very easily. In fact, so easily that they don't even have to fire a single shot before they run. Utility car now on the field for Pugnaciouspenguin. That will be quite strong with what is now on the field for Torch. Is he getting Shreks on any of them? No. So no Shreks are being purchased just yet on any of the Volksgrenadiers. So the utility car has a nice window of opportunity here where it can actually catch and potentially kill a Volksgrenadier squad or anything else. Anything right now on the field gets easily killed. The Kubelwagen can easily get hunted down and chased. So we will see how it pans out. Ambulance getting built for the Penguin. Rear echelon still capturing the center. We got the Kubelwagen moving around in the center, trying to position itself in a better angle. Volksgrenadiers going for the island cap. Storm Pios coming up behind them. We do have behind them on the victory point a rear echelon squad going for the strategic point outside the base. Trying to get some shots on the rear echelons. The rear echelons are going to pop inside the house and be able to get a lot of damage in there on the Kubelwagen. Kubelwagen going to be retreating now as it finds itself in a very bad spot. Going to take some damage here, but it should be able to make it out of there with no real issue. And it has the Mechanized Regiment headquarters to help out. Now, Torch is building himself a Puma as well. The Puma is definitely there, the counter for the utility car. Utility car making itself known, hasn't actually killed anything yet, but the Volksgrenadiers inside the church are getting assaulted. I assume, though, that these guys are going to get upgraded. No. I mean, he does not have the munitions just yet, so it's understandable that that doesn't happen, but I'm assuming once it hits 90, these guys... probably not these guys now, because they're taking some damage, but at least one Volksgren squad should be getting upgraded, right? Right? It has to, come on. Anyways, Puma up in the north, going to be chasing away those rifles. The rifles should be able to make it out of there just fine, as the Puma is pretty lame against infantry. Should be able to get some kills on it, but I don't think the squad is going to get wiped. Puma continues to push forward, going to be trying to catch that utility car. Utility car running back through the bridge. Puma not going to give chase, decides to just simply stop, turn itself around, prioritize vehicles, and not even going to be shooting at those rifles as it decides to move around and loiter in the center. Rear echelon squad retreating. Volksgrenadiers up in the north, going to be engaging the lieutenant. The lieutenant is not really in a very good spot here. The Puma moving itself, going to be unprioritizing vehicles and be able to provide at least some modicum of support. Volksgrenadiers popping inside the house, going to be delaying quite a bit against the lieutenant, but you can see the magnificent accuracy of the main gun of the Puma not hitting for shit on infantry. Still though, the coaxial guns and the fire of the infantry should be able to pick up the kill here on the lieutenant. Down to one man. Can they finish it off? There goes the blast. There it goes. So down goes the lieutenant for the Penguin, and he suffers a significant loss here. Another rifle squad was lost as well. Did I see that, or did I already forget? Well, I'll just write it down. And if I did, you know I did. So there we go. Anyway, so yeah, lieutenant down, rifle squad down. So the Penguin has suffered some losses. He does still have that utility car. Going to be building himself a an AT gun to try and fight the Kubelwagen and the Puma. We also see that a rear echelon squad died. And again, if I just saw it and completely forgot, well, there might be something wrong with me. Kubelwagen in the center, taking a beating there, being forced to retreat. The rear echelon squad retreating as well, unable to take additional shots and finish it off. Vehicle crew popping outside of the car. Oh, no, never mind. The rear echelon squad is the one driving the utility car, so that's why we don't see it. Haha! I knew I hadn't missed the death yet. So yeah, the vehicle crew popping out, as it is, of course, equipped with a bazooka, so that gives Pugnaciouspenguin a decent amount of anti-vehicle firepower. The Kubelwagen is not going to be very easily utilized at this point, because we also have the captain on the field and the captain has 2 bazookas. There we go. Shots continue to fly. The Puma has taken some damage, down to less than half health, but it should be able to make it out of there just fine. The utility car over on the right-hand side is actually still threatened here by the Puma. Puma trying to prioritize vehicles. Can it actually take the shot? The storm pilots are going to sit there on the point and essentially distract it. They managed to do so. The rifles push forward. Remember, rifles without veterancy are unable to throw anti-tank rifle grenades. It looks like the Torch realizes that and just pushes forward and takes out the utility cars. So now we see that a rear echelon squad has in fact died since the crew was popped out. Rifles pushing forward, trying to do as best they can against the Puma. Now they get the veterancy, but a little bit too late as they basically run themselves on top of the Storm Pilot squad and get themselves annihilated. Forced to retreat down to 2 men, but they barely make it out of there. Pack Howitzer also on the field for ThePugnaciousPenguin, still trying to utilize that unit before it gets nerfed into oblivion and is manually targeted and things of that nature. Again, we'll see if that is the right amount of changes or if we basically are not going to see those units being utilized at all. Vehicle crew inside the house taking some bazooka shots at the church, managing to break open quite a bit of the walls. Just sitting there delaying essentially against the Volksgrenadiers. Pack Howitzer takes a good shot there at the Volksgrenadiers, getting them pinned down and forcing the retreat. As a little bit more to the right, and the shot would have eliminated the entire squad as it was very, very clumped up. Behind the lines on the flank, we see the Volksgrenadier squad going for the cutoff point outside of the Penguin's base. Taking some shots at the Pack Howitzer, and also going to be taking some shots at the retreating vehicle crew. Vehicle crew down to 1 man with its bazooka. Can it make it out of there, taking some damage? But it looks like we see a rifle squad getting in the way. Pack Howitzer going to be getting some shots in there, and I mean, the rifles are actually in a position where they can get themselves shot. Nope. Looks like they're going to be able to make it out of there. Ooh, they actually almost still get shot. And the assault engineers are going to push forward with their flamethrowers. Over on the far right-hand side, Storm Pilot squad's capturing territory, as we do see the Kubelwagen still on the field, still kicking. Puma doing what it can. Almost has veterancy 1, but still alive. Volksgrenadiers over on the left-hand side, capping behind the lines, as we see the rear echelon squad capping behind them on the strategic point. Puma trying as best as can with that gun, but just not managing to really do too much. Kubelwagen doing a nice little turn there on the ramp, as it is able to turn on a dime. It's sad that that technology has been lost for cars that we currently use nowadays. It was so much better in the 40s. So the rear echelon squad manages to retreat. Volksgrenadiers get on top of them, and they're going to move back to capture the point. Unfortunately for the OKW, they cannot pop their crew outside of their vehicles to both repair and capture points, so they have to rely on the infantry already on the field. Rifles in the center, assault engineers pushing around as well. Nothing in the center right now for them to really deal with, but we do see a sneaky satchel charge getting laid down here for the Penguin. Nothing right now there to spot it, so it looks like they're going to be able to lay it down without much of an issue. And there goes the satchel charge. We'll see if and when it gets detonated. Puma moving up, taking some shots at the assault engineers as they capture the center point. The Puma moves itself on top of the satchel. Is it a satchel? It's not really a satchel, it's a demolition charge, right? Because satchel charge is what the penal battalion throw, and it already has a fuse. So, yeah, I mean, that's a demo charge. Volksgrenadiers going to be moving onto the point. They can potentially put themselves right on top of the point and maybe get themselves killed. This guy's a little bit far off, so yeah, that's what I thought. If he detonated at that point, those two would live, and they do, in fact. So, while it does some damage and forces the retreat and keeps a point for the Penguin, he blew his load a little bit early and did not manage to fulfill what he wanted to do. Rifles over on the right-hand side, getting shot at by the Puma at range. The Puma displaying its amazing anti-infantry prowess with its main gun. As Volksgrenadiers move on, and those are going to be the ones that really do what needs to be done. Rifle grenade does get tossed there at the Puma. The Puma takes some damage to the engine and is going to be forced to back off. Rocket and Warfare on the field for the Torch. Well, actually, I guess not the Torch, right? It's just Torch. Hits retreat and makes it out of there. Up in the north, the Kubelwagen still moving around. We see infantry support guns getting purchased for Torch. Again, trying to squeeze as much juice as they can out of those units before they getting nerfed into oblivion. Volksgrenadiers capturing points on the island. Center map, we see the engineers managing to cap most of it. Pack howitzer and the vehicle crew now inside the church. Pin down going down on the Volksgrenadier squad down south. As the pack howitzer, it's getting some good shots right on top of them. They all hit the dirt and are unable to cap.
Capture point is being overrun.
And considering that they are getting still shot, yeah, the Volksgrenadiers are going to need to retreat, and they do, and they make it out. Back at base, we see the infantry support gun still being produced, the other one already out on the field. And down south, we have an engagement as rifles with bars now equipped are engaging against the Volksgrens, and that will win them the engagement quite easily. The other rifle squad has gotten veterancy too, as this is, of course, a new rifle squad that just got into the field, only now getting its first kill. Assault engineers pushing forward with their SMGs and the flamethrower. The Volksgrenadiers wanting nothing to do with that, quickly retreating. Kubelwagen moving around. Storm piles trying to capture some territory, and they managed to do so while getting shot at by the pack howitzer.
We're losing a capture point.
And 16 minutes in, we still do not have a doctrine selection for Mr. Torch, so it'll be interesting to see what he selects. And what does he have anyways? Breakthrough, Luftwaffe, Special Operations. Well, we'll see. I mean, he could have gotten the Luftwaffe for the MG34, but I don't think he'll get it now. Maybe this guy? We'll see. Anyways. Assault Engineer Squad capturing the storm piles out in the open, down to one man. Barely makes it out of there as the SMGs are unable to finish it off at range. Infantry support guns setting themselves up right outside of the base. Should be able to get some good shots in on whatever the hell they want. They can dislodge the church. They can counter barrage the pack howitzer. And it looks like right now they're just simply turning their sights on the harassing assault engineers. The assault engineers managing to get themselves past the arc of fire of the Kubelwagen. The Kubelwagen now in a very, very bad spot. Might actually get itself killed right here. The SMG is doing a lot of damage at range. And down goes the Kubelwagen to a lone squad of assault engineers. That is a lapse of both judgment and what is it called? You know, little mistake there. Lapse of concentration? No, it's not lapse. It's lack of I don't know. Whatever. It's difficult to find those phrases. Anyways, so yeah, the Kubelwagen goes down. Assault Engineer Squad retreats, takes some damage, down to one man, but it makes it out of there. Rifles over on the left-hand side, trying to engage against the Volks and the Puma. The Puma still getting, you know, some shots there at range, not managing to do shit with its main gun. Volksgrenadiers down to one man. They're going to be forced to retreat or die. And these guys do manage to make it out of there. Pugnaciouspenguin going to be getting himself a Wolverine now on the field. Another captain is being produced as the original captain died. I did not see that, so let me go ahead and write it down so I know when that happened. And you probably saw it happen already. So the Wolverine now on the field for Torch. The Puma is the only thing on the field there. Puma, you know, should be able to do decent enough damage there against the Wolverine if it can catch it, but for the most part, it'll probably, you know, die to the Wolverine, as the Wolverine can easily kill it. It has a lot of health. It's able to break through a lot of things and just run in there and kill. Volksgrenadiers engaging against rifles here in the center. Behind them, we have more Volksgrenadiers capturing. The pack howitzer has been moved back a little bit as the infantry support guns have been doing quite a bit of work here at dislodging infantry. Torch finally selected his doctrine, and that is the Luftwaffe Ground Forces Doctrine, which I assumed he would not have chosen at this stage. But, I mean, it's fine. It still gives him access to those Fallschirmjägers and stuff, so he already called in a squad, and he called it in from apparently outside of the field. I'm assuming, though, he was trying to pop it inside a house, which was currently occupied by the enemy, and it didn't happen. And, oh my god, the Wolverine goes on a driving rampage and crushes the living shit out of a Volksgrenadier squad. Down it goes, and, very nice maneuvering there for Pugnaciouspenguin. Again, he's going for the crush. The Volksgrenadiers deciding, you know what? I don't want to, so we're just going to retreat. A rifle squad was apparently lost, I believe. I didn't see where. I think it's up here. No? Well, I'll catch it here because, yeah, we only have one rifle squad left, so. There we go, 19. So we'll keep an eye on all that. And we heard, of course, the little telltale that says we just lost a unit. So the Raketen Warfare is pushing forward under cloak, trying to support the Puma. Volksgrenadiers with Shreks now equipped are also going to be putting themselves in the way of the Wolverine. The Wolverine going on a rampage as it tries to crush everything in its path. Shrek does fly, gets a good hit on the Wolverine, but the captain now on station, going to be stopping that Puma from pursuing. Volksgrenadiers should be able to do a decent amount of job here against them, as they have managed to kill a lot of members of the captain squad. The captain squad really only has one anti-infantry weapon left in it. As the bazookas, yes, they can kill, but they're not the best. Pugnacious Penguin now building himself a Sherman bulldozer tank. That should give them really the anti-infantry firepower that he needs. Volksgrenadiers in the center getting cooked by the flamethrower of the assault engineers. They themselves threw a incendiary grenade, but they managed to make it out of there. Behind the lines, we see the 50 cal machine gun for the Pugnacious Penguin getting cleared by a Fallschirmjäger squad. Assault engineers trying to run through the Fallschirmjägers. Can they pick up the kill? It looks like no. They're going to have to retreat. The bulldozer going to get a shot. Oh, that's a brilliant shot by the bulldozer, and down goes the Fallschirmjäger squad, turning it around there on the torch. Just torch, not the torch. Damn it. Rear echelon squad up in the north trying to capture, but they put themselves in cover, so they're not actually capturing the munitions. Behind them, we do have an AT gun for the Penguin, as the bulldozer and the Wolverine are still there on the field. They need to pop out their crews and quickly repair, although they're kind of in range there. Puma moving up. It seems that the Volksgrenadiers are going to be salvaging that 50 cal. They do not want it for themselves, which I don't exactly agree with, but I can understand why. And also, I guess he wasn't really exactly in the best position to steal it, because he only had 3 members on that squad, and he would have lost the squad. So yeah, I get it. That's fine. Again, like if you can't take it, at least make sure that your opponent cannot utilize it against you, right? So infantry support guns and the Raketen Warfare getting caught here by the rifles as they approach. The infantry support guns do not have the ability to retreat. Fallschirmjäger squad getting themselves right behind those rifles, trying to clear them off. Gonna be able to do a decent job of it, although that infantry support gun is gonna be lost. Fallschirmjäger squad retreating as the Raketen Warfare sits there and tries to do as much damage as it can, but oh, it gets cleared out there by the bulldozer. Wolverine moving up, getting some good hits there on the Puma. The Puma returning fire and managing to do a decent amount of damage on it as well. But it looks like Torch has lost this engagement and is being forced to push. Not push, but pull back. Back at base, we do not have the Schwerpanzer headquarters just yet for Torch, so he cannot build really anything heavier, although I guess, I mean, you always have access to the Jagdpanzer, so, you know, that's a decently good tank. I mean, well, not decently good, he's actually pretty fucking good, but, you know, it's a decent option against tanks, even the Wolverine, as long as you can keep it supported and make sure that you don't get just circle strafe. Fallschirmjäger squads and Volksgrenadiers pushing forward, trying to fight against the captain. The captain is just sitting there taking the damage. Down to 2 men, down to 1 on the retreat, but it makes it out. The infantry support gun manages to pull itself back and make it out of there as Volksgrenadiers are moving out. Raketen Warfare currently getting targeted by the AT gun here of Pugnacious Penguin. Pugnacious Penguin calling in yet another Wolverine onto the field, while he still has both the vehicle crew with the bazooka, and he also has the other Wolverine on the field with the bulldozer Sherman currently in the center. So Penguin has a pretty sizable force here, putting himself quite ahead here of the Penguin. Oof, the bulldozer is doing massive amounts of damage. Down to 1 man on the retreating Volksgren squad. Manages to barely make it out of there as the rear echelons, you know, not as great as they would hope. Rear echelon squad taking some damage, down to 1 man. It looked like the Puma finally hit something with its main gun. Got a kill there, but nothing too significant. Bulldozer Sherman taking a wide shot there, and it misses completely on the Fallschirmjäger squad. Fallschirmjäger squad managing to dodge, dip, dive, and dodge as they get themselves out of the way of that artillery shell, and they stay alive. The Schwerpanzer headquarters now online for Torch, so we're going to see if he decides to build anything heavier. He does have 275 fuel and almost 500 manpower, so I mean, I guess he could actually already go for this. He has the fuel for it, he just needs the manpower. So yeah, I mean, if Torch can control himself, he also has a veteran C2 Puma on the field right now, so that's actually great. But yeah, he could potentially just wait and call in the King Tiger, the Konings Tiger. So we'll see. Rifle's going to be moving up to the north as we see Volksgrenadiers and Fallschirmjägers moving in that direction. A lot of troops currently in the center there for the Pugnacious Penguin. As we see the bulldozer moving up, taking some shots into the center approach there. Both the pack howitzer and the bulldozer. Trying basically to see if they can spot anything. Well, not spot, but catch anything. Trying to exit the base. Get a hit. Nice grenade. Oh, they managed to dodge it. Excuse me. Still, though, the Fallschirmjägers are going to do quick work there. Oh, but the bulldozer puts itself there. And, ooh, one of these squads is going to die. Maybe not, though. Panzer headquarters trying to get some shots on the bulldozer. Is actually getting some shots on the bulldozer. And the Volksgrenadier squad manages to spread out. One guy lagging behind, which is actually quite good for it because that means that it manages to make it out of there. We do see the 240mm howitzer barrage calling right on top of the Shredder Panzer headquarters. Puma moving itself up, shots flying. That one hits the water, so it actually doesn't do as much damage to the headquarters as you would want. The other shots flying wide. The Puma trying to hold off the Wolverines as it keeps getting shot. Down to very low amounts of health, but it barely makes it out of there. But even if they had taken down the Shredder Panzer headquarters, it wouldn't really matter that much, as we see right now on the build order. And we take a look here at the base, and we do see, in fact, the Königstiger, the King Tiger, coming onto the field for Torch. This could be it, actually. I mean, there are 2 Wolverines on the field. There's bazookas abound. We have an AT gun, so, you know, it's not necessarily, you know, a win condition, but it is a very powerful unit to have to deal with. We actually saw it on the last game being utilized as well, and it managed to bring Seja the Sixth to victory. He did end up losing it at the end, but it did so much damage and absorbed so much damage that it allowed Seja the Sixth basically to rip the opponent's army. I forget actually. Oh yeah, time for some cock. Rip his army to shred by the time that he managed to deal with the King Tiger, and ended up having on the field a veteran C5 Panzer IV, so it was pretty ridiculous. But yeah, the King Tiger now on the field, slowly lumbering through the center. We're gonna see if it can actually do anything. In the meantime, we do see Pugnacious Penguin laying down some mines in anticipation. That is a brilliant move right there. That's gonna potentially damage the engine there of the King Tiger, so that could actually leave it crippled and in a position for it to get killed. So we'll see what happens. Fallschirmjägers moving out through the field, catching the vehicle crew out in the open as it just captures territory. Victory points are 389 for the Penguin, 119, sorry, for Torch. So yeah, I mean, yeah, this is basically his Hail Mary here for Torch. Put everything on the King Tiger, and it runs straight into the mine, hits the mine, suffers damage on the engine. Thankfully for Torch, it is not an immobilization of any sorts. It is just simply engine damage, so that could potentially get buffed out real quick. Just get a little bit of wax, rub it down, and it'll be just as new, or just like new, but we'll see. Infantry support guns moving up behind it. The Puma still sitting there covering. It's making sure that the tanks can't really do too much. Oh, we got 3 Wolverines currently on the field for Pugnacious Penguin. He's going on the assault, but very quickly we see the the mine hits the Fallschirmjäger squad. Fallschirmjäger squad goes down. The one in the center down to 1 man, but one of the Wolverines has been taken out. The Puma is backing off, popping some smoke, making sure that the line of sight is broken from the Wolverines. One Wolverine does have a damaged engine. Nice shot flying there from the King Tiger through the building, getting a good hit on the Wolverine. The Sherman Bulldozer puts itself in front of the Tiger now. As brave as that is, the Bulldozer can't really do any damage here to the Tiger. It has an artillery shell that cannot penetrate that frontal armor, at least not easily. So it's just basically getting itself killed here. Pugnacious Penguin falling apart in this engagement, not exactly going to his specifications. We see from behind the lines, the Wolverine has fallen, as it looks like the Puma managed to go up and sneak itself a kill. I guess I'll note that so we can see when it died. And the 3rd Wolverine comes up, trying to go for the flank here on the King Tiger, but only ends up getting itself killed. Pugnacious Penguin just holding very, very strong here, and I mean, Pugnacious Penguin just falling apart as he is unable to really do anything here, and just loses all his units. The captain moves up, I guess, trying to do as much damage as it can with its bazookas, and yeah, those can actually get some good hits, but considering the health that it has left, I don't think that's gonna really do anything. So the captain ends up going down. Pugnacious Penguin calls in yet another Wolverine tank destroyer, trying to maybe see if he can finish the game with that. I mean, he has enough fuel for more, so he just needs to wait the cooldown, which is unfortunately for him, 90 seconds. So it'll take a while, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure why he went all in on that engagement. I mean, it didn't start off well. He lost that first Wolverine before he could do anything because Torch was properly supporting his King Tiger. So yeah, I mean, when that died, he should have just basically backed up, let it happen, recover, get another tank, and make sure that he can kill it off in one fell swoop. So for now, we have a Veterancy 5 Puma on the field. What Veterancy does the Puma get anyway? So let's see. A Veterancy 1, it gets the aim shot. Veterancy 2, weapon accuracy and rate of fire. 3, vehicle mobility and weapon potency. So I'm assuming more penetration. Effective firing range, so I get more range at 4th. And tracking vision. Anyways, so the Puma though is getting caught here a little bit out of position by the Wolverines and a rear echelon squad with bazookas now, and it goes down. So unfortunately, Torch getting a little bit too ballsy, getting too brave, too strong, and ends up losing his Veterancy 5 Puma to the Wolverine. The Wolverine is gonna be taking a Faust to the face here as it crushes the Fallschirmjäger. Manages to crush it though. Crushes the second one and is probably gonna crash a third one as it basically runs itself into the threads. But it does have a damage engine, so that makes it a lot more difficult. A second Wolverine does get called in for the Pugnacious Penguin, so I guess he is setting up for another kill. Does have the vehicle crew and a rear echelon squad with bazookas. King Tiger moving up. Oh, these are a little crumpled up. Oh, that shot flies. Down goes the vehicle crew. Down to one man on the rear echelon squad. So always be mindful of your position, and clumping up never helps. Make sure that you're spreading out as much as you can. 50 cal machine gun on the field for Pugnacious Penguin. Trying to set itself up in any position where it can help, but it just runs itself right in front of the Volksgrenadier squad. Volksgrenadier squad going to be throwing an incendiary grenade at its face. Incendiary grenade does pop. Going to be cooking it alive. Does get the suppression going on the Volksgrens, but it's going to just die before anything happens. And a nice clear there for Torch. So yeah, Pugnacious Penguin just crumbling under the pressure. He brought his opponent down to 62 points. But now he has nothing. Where are all the Wolverines? I mean, we have one Wolverine up north, one Wolverine still up north, but being recovered. So I guess that's nice. The AT gun trying as best as can to get some shots there on the King Tiger, popping its armor-piercing rounds, but the King Tiger is not in range, so it doesn't actually have really any effect. Second AT gun trying as best it can to hold off around there. And the 50 cal machine gun does get stolen here by Torch, so good for him. Like I said, if you can steal it, because I mean, he does have access now to the MG34, so he doesn't necessarily need it, but he has a King Tiger, doesn't really need much else in the way of vehicles, and even then he's getting himself yet another Puma to support, so we'll see how that works out. So Rifles in the center going to be trying to push forward, but you still have those two infantry support guns on the field for Torch. Have not gotten cleared out. The Pack Howitzer did go down at one point. I guess I didn't really notice. But I'll make a note of that one, just in case. And we see the Wolverines pushing forward, running themselves straight into the King Tiger, trying to crush as many infantry as they can. Getting a good crush there on the Storm Pios. The Volksgrenadier squad being a little bit more lucky there. AT guns moving up, trying to fight, but one of them gets itself cleared out to the infantry support guns. The Wolverine down south, still getting shot at by the King Tiger. The King Tiger backing off, shots fly, gets a bounce off of the armor. Wolverine pushing straight through the center. Volksgrenadiers with Trex gonna be able to get a shot off on the rear. We see the call-in of the railway artillery, or the 240mm howitzer. As the King Tiger moves itself past its arc of fire, down goes the Wolverine. And before any shell hits, actually it does hit, and then we get the sync error. And the game comes to a close. So, unfortunately for Pugnacious Penguin, he, like I said, he basically crumbled under pressure. I'm going to move back over here so we don't get that annoying sound. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.